Welcome back to the Jojitorium. Well, I think, remember too, whenever we found the German Scheiser porn. Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's what
yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face.
Got right in front of you.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys, and thank you, Bob and Betty. Here in the Jojitorium, the boys bask in the days of their yesteryears, and everyone likes a little boost remembering something they loved. So what if I said Chinooki and White Lightning makes you miss Full Pint, doesn't it? Well, miss them no more. Full Pint is back and rolling hotter than before with the classic brews you grew to love and some exciting new beers to satisfy the nerdiest craft beer enthusiasts. Grab a pint at their Warrendale site where kiddos and puppers are more than welcome. And if you want to grab and go, you can snag a 4-pack of your favorites at over 20 different distributors from Katanning to Robinson. Check out fullpint.beer for full details and follow them on all social media to get daily updates on tap lists, food trucks, events, and much more. Just make sure you tell them the boys sent you. So, hi Adam, how are you?
We're back together once again.
Yes. We've had some things happen to each of us. One of us, I think, has it worse than the other, but
at the moment, maybe. But at least one of us had it planned, and one of us didn't.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm envious of where you sit right now because I have to do what you did eventually here. I've already had my consultation. I just have to get it done.
We might as well say what got done.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I had a vasectomy.
Yay!
This is news to anybody from my family who's listening.
Hi, Peg.
So, yeah, I had surgery yesterday, so this is like day one of recovery.
Okay.
Just into the 28th hour after surgery right now.
Okay.
So sitting pretty comfortable on a bar stool, given that.
I was gonna say, I thought for sure we were gonna switch up the whole idea and have
seating
you sitting
arrangement.
I'd be
like in
chair.
I would be in my living room today. I'd
Just
be in the lounge,
holding a cup of tea with two hands.
Nah, I'm allowed to drink today, so I'm going to.
So for those gentlemen that listen to us and are now going to watch us, how on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being nothing's happened to you, 10 being the worst thing ever, where are you at now? One day out from
today's a little bit worse than yesterday, but I'd still get on a 1 to 10 scale. I'd say a 6 or 7.
Okay,
it's not too bad.
Manageable.
Uncomfortable to walk, just sitting here.
Yeah,
feel fine. Just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of almost it's bruised. I took a swift kick an hour ago, and I'm still but that's about it. It's not too terrible. Nah, standing up and walking and showering and all that makes it a little more uncomfortable, but still just maxes out at 7. Okay. I had, for reference, I had a hernia surgery on my stomach area about 3 years ago, or maybe 4 now. That was way worse. Yeah, it was the surgery was longer, the whole day at the hospital was longer.
Yeah.
And then the recovery was much, much worse. So,
because they cut into that abdominal wall too, really get into something. Oh my gosh.
So that was worse.
Yeah. I was thinking about you because you know this, and not everyone knows. I had surgery on my butthole once, and I thought not the same exact area, but I was having surgery in that part of your body leaves you kind of vulnerable.
Very, yeah.
And it just makes you feel kind of vulnerable. Yeah. So I was thinking about you, and I was hoping you'd be okay today.
My biggest worry over the last 2 days was the doggo not jumping up into my lap. Yes. So my wife's been very good. She actually slept with him on the couch yesterday, so he wouldn't be jumping in and out of bed when I was asleep and stuff. So thank you, Lori, for that. But yeah, that's been the biggest precaution I've needed to take so far, is just not having a 65-pound dog jump on my lap, because he does that.
A 65-pound fur missile.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, man. Well, on the lighter side of things, I'm finally COVID-free.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling like I'm dying anymore.
Yeah, I think I talked to you even the day before you tested positive, and I think you were in way worse shape than I am today.
I was feeling, I've been really sick before, but getting COVID like that, it's in my top 3 of times being sick.
Ooh.
I've never felt so weak before, and that's why I'm putting it up so high, because I've never felt like I was going to fall asleep standing up before until I had that.
You might have got that Omicron Delta hybrid.
Omicron Persei 8. Yeah. I got Futurama hard. But I'm good. I just have a little cough here and there. If you guys listen to the last episode, you'd be like, wow, there's weird little breaks in there. That's because I had to keep editing out all
coughing
these
fits.
coughing fits. And so I want to say thank you, too, for carrying me, by the way, because
absolutely
did a really good job.
Yeah, if you'd lean all the way off mic, I'd just like try to fill. But it went pretty well. Especially for it being a Zoom episode.
Yeah, for sure. So in this episode, I want to make sure that I try to carry you because now you're lighter.
Oh, I got a lot to talk about.
You got a piece of you.
I got a lot to talk about.
I had a card for you, by the way. I thought it would have been funny, but then I thought it would have been a little insensitive.
It would have been like just like a happy, like a brisk card or something.
So no. So I have this. It's okay. Peek behind the curtain for me. I have emergency cards in the glove box of my SUV just in case. Like, oh shit, I forgot this thing. So I have anniversary cards. I have birthday cards. I don't have any get well cards. So for you, I took a birthday card and I crossed out happy birthday, and I crossed out birthday and wrote happy recovery. And on the inside, I drew a dick. And I was like, oh, I don't know if he's going to like that or not.
Happy vasectomy day.
Yeah.
Dropping clips.
No kids, no condoms. So, Adam, we are in round one, and you always procure some of the best beers I get to try. So, round one, you got beers, put them together. Got round one beers. What we got?
We got a little something that was gifted to me on New Year's by friends of the podcast, Jason and Dave, from Bonesaw Brewing. It is the Dum Dums Double IPA. So let's crack it open.
Yeah. So Bonesaw is a brewery that does specialize in some of these exotic styles. And right now you're looking at a double IPA that's made with Dum Dum lollipops. So if you like candy, this may kind of get your sweet tooth going. But the ABV is nice and high on this one.
8.2, I believe. Sorry, 8.5.
8.5. And if you want to know what's going on with Bonesaw, the colorful can right here, all you do is check them out on all social media. I hear they're a very active brewery, and they would love to hear from you.
Yeah, out of Glassboro, New Jersey. And there are 5,000 Dum Dums into this IPA. Citra is the predominant hop, along with Mosaic, a little bit of Madagascar vanilla beans, and it roughly works out to 1.1 lollipop per pint. So we got 1.1 lollipops in this can here.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, I taste 0 lollipops, unfortunately. There's a little bit of a sweetness on the back end, but I don't get lollipops, unfortunately.
You get the vanilla.
The vanilla, yeah. It's a good double. I like the sting of it, and I like the color. But if you were going for lollipops,
I get vanilla, and if it was a mango Dum Dum we got, I get like a not danky, like an overripe mango taste.
Maybe.
And I get the Citra and the vanilla.
The Citra and the vanilla shine for sure. I'm really liking that. I guess maybe I really wanted
an overly sweetness. I'm glad it's not sweet, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. I think you and I are kind of similar in that we like bitter more than anything else.
Yes.
Oh, now that I let it rest for a second, I do get that bitter mango.
Yeah, it's at the very end.
Yeah, let it settle for a second on your tongue and it comes out. But yeah, I think maybe my anticipation was, cause I ate a Dum Dum Pop today just because I wanted some sugar.
You're a Dum Dum.
I am a Dum Dum, and I wanted gum. So I ate, a lollipop thinking there's gum in it, and then I forgot that Dum Dum Pops don't have fucking gum in them.
Blow Pops, sir.
Yeah, Blow Pops, Charms, take one. So, Adam, while we sip on this delicious brew, we do have some combat sports news to get into. So from Buckle to Bell, the boys bring you the best wrestling news in the biz. If you didn't know, PWI put out their top 500 wrestlers and also comes with some awards that go to individual wrestlers. And this year, AEW completely dominated PWI, not only in their list of 500, but also in their individual awards. So number one here that I want to talk about is the Pride of Pittsburgh. Britt Baker took home not only Rookie of the Year, but she took home Match of the Year with the Lights Out match with Thunder Rosa, something that you and I called.
Yeah, we had it in our top. It made the top 4, right? Yeah. I think it was our second place match of the year.
Yeah, because you took Lucha Brothers, because and we were saying Lucha Brothers,
Young Bucks and the
Young
Steel
Bucks,
Cage, yeah.
and then Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa were 1 and 2 for us.
Yep.
So speaking of the Young Bucks, they took home Tag Team of the Year.
Well, can we go back? I don't know if Britt Baker's a rookie this year, which is weird that they gave her Rookie of the Year. I could see like Breakout Star of the Year or something like that because she made it to that next level and was like big. I just don't know how they classify a rookie, but
I have to go back and look at that too because you're right. She's been in for like 2 years.
I mean,
right?
she was there last
Company
year.
day one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she wasn't signed yet.
Who knows? Yeah, that's true.
Because AEW does that weird thing. Like Thunder Rosa wrestled for like a fucking year before she got signed.
I just noticed that. I don't know.
Yeah.
PW had some weird stuff.
We'll have to look at it because you're right. That's kind of weird. Young Bucks are a Tag Team of the Year, and I do have some, I can agree with parts of that, but I also want to make a pitch for Lucha Brothers and FTR.
Yeah.
I think
those would be the top three. I mean, I'm not mad at Young Bucks, but
you know who else could also be up there? Usos. Okay. Usos could be up there.
I thought you were going to say Jurassic Express, and I was going to reach over the table.
Nah, man. And that's
no. Usos are probably my favorite in WWE.
Not the Dirty Dogs.
No. Hell no.
Surprisingly enough, here Jericho versus MJF took home Feud of the Year. They had some cool segments, but you can kind of see the swerve that happened in that feud from a mile away. Not to say it wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
No.
It definitely wasn't the best. I can't think of. I mean, you put Thunder Rosa Britt over that. You could put Cowboy Omega over that.
I really like that one.
You could put who else did Omega? Omega had a big angle right before that was somebody.
I really like the feud that happened with when Eddie Kingston had his faction. Was that this year that he did that? When it was Eddie Kingston and the Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade, he kind of took them away before.
Oh yeah, before they. Yeah.
I like that feud, like that inner feud. That was pretty cool. And then the whole Pac thing came through. Eddie Kingston Pac was really fun for me, but it was too short. And I think that's why I didn't get the nod.
What did you think about this faction of the year?
Not happy about it. I don't know. They all had success.
Inner Circle took it, by the way.
Yeah. They all had individual success, and as a group they had success, but nothing can cover up that terrible ending to the Blood War or whatever they had.
Right.
That was a terrible ending, and that was a terrible way to end the Jericho-MJF feud. I think that's why I'm having a problem with the faction.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the faction, not the feud.
I'm talking about both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the feud was sullied a little bit because of the ending to that match.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But no, Inner Circle is great to the point where I love Proud and Powerful, and I really like Sammy Guevara.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really give him... And also, too, Jericho had some pretty cool matches throughout the year. It was a COVID year, so everyone had to work really hard. But MJF, however, took home the award that he definitely should win every year, and that's Most Hated Wrestler. And that's a heel award. That should just be top heel.
Yeah. He totally deserved that.
100%.
Can't argue with it.
Yeah. Metheny talking about Brian Pillman's Jr.'s father being in hell.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't break character on Twitter either.
Nope. or at signings from what I've seen.
Yeah, he flicked off a kid.
I saw him meet and greet with a kid that was in a wheelchair and said, "Hey, look what I can do," and he jumped up and down.
He goes, "Hey, come on, man, quit messing around. Walk over here and take a picture with me." And the kid loved it.
Yeah,
that's the thing too. If you're gonna be a heel, heels can still have a heart. MJF gives to all these charities and stuff, so like people need to separate the whole like he's a dickhead all the time. He does it for a reason.
But him being this vile person in every thing that's recorded
is awesome.
Makes him a true heel, which is what we need.
I love it. Yeah. Comeback of the Year award and most popular wrestler went to CM Punk, which you can see that coming from a mile away.
Undeniable. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And then Wrestler of the Year, can't believe it, from North Carolina, Kenny Omega.
By way of Winnipeg.
Yeah, of course.
No.
You didn't like that one?
No. I mean, he's definitely, I'm not going to say he's not.
Yeah.
But not my favorite.
Who would have been your favorite wrestler then?
Ooh.
Because I just want to tell you how you're wrong. So if you could tell me who
I don't know. I had a couple favorites.
Okay.
I like Adam Cole.
Okay.
Wow, this is just going to sound like I love myself. Adam Cole, Adam Page.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston were probably my top three. CM Punk I thought was good. Bryan Danielson was definitely up there.
Yeah.
As far as top wrestler, like CM Punk's most popular.
Yeah.
But as far as in-ring, I'd put those four gentlemen up there.
Okay.
And then if I have to pick somebody from WWE, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, maybe. I don't know.
I could agree with that.
And Kevin Owens. I always like Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with that. And if we do look at the top 10 here from PWI's 500,
take a looky.
Of course we are. Kenny Omega's number 1. Coming in at a very close number 2 was Roman Reigns, which his heel turn is the best thing's ever happened to
He's
him.
had good character work this year.
And
his in-ring to me is still just...
He carried that company, man.
Yeah.
He carried the company the whole year. Bobby Lashley in the 3 spot, and then hitting cleanup here is Drew McIntyre, which I don't know. He kind of got lost in the fray.
I think he was bigger last year.
I think he was too.
Like, he carried the company last year.
It's saying here that he was at 4 last year.
He's 4 this year.
Again.
Look at Bobby Lashley going from 44 to 3. Wow.
That's insane.
But yeah, he had a much better year this year.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that. And then he's actually built up to be the character he's supposed to be now.
Probably his best year in WWE ever.
Yeah, I would agree.
He had some really good years in TNA, but like this is definitely his best WWE.
He looks unstoppable. Yeah. Especially that little bump in the road he had, and they tried to hook him up with the Hurt Business again, and he just like shot that.
And he's in his early 40s and doing like his best he's ever done. Yeah.
Good Lord. Well, yeah.
TRT baby.
Good Lord. Kota Ibushi is up there at number 5.
I don't know if I've seen one of his matches this year.
Dude.
Maybe just one. I know he's good though. No argument there.
Well, the good thing too, so a little bit of news for you, so you can see him a little bit now, is New Japan signed a new deal with Access TV.
I saw that. I just saw that this week.
You'll be able to watch your New Japan like I used to at 5 o'clock in the morning when it would air. John Moxley is in the number 6 slot, coming down from number 1, still in the top 10.
Yeah.
Did some good work.
I don't know. Little high.
I don't know, man.
High.
I thought he had some good.
I thought he was way too high when he was number 1 last year.
No.
I just don't think I think his character's cool.
He did a lot of great work.
Yeah. Well, and he's wrestling everywhere. Yeah. But just like a lot of brawling. I don't know. Not a lot of technical stuff.
But at least he owned that though. I mean, you're not looking at someone.
And again, this is fan voted. So like in the ranking of fans, 6 is fair.
And this is where This is where it kind of blows my mind is that Will Ospreay is number 7.
Exactly, because that's like an in-ring master. Yeah, he should definitely be higher.
Your homeboy, Finn Balor, is at number 8.
Boom.
Always should be top 10 as long as he can perform. We have Tak. I'm going to mess up his last name so bad. I love him too. Takagi.
Sure. I don't know who that is.
Shingo Takagi. This is great because he was 53 last year, and now he's up in the top 10. He's number 9. He's got some great matches in New Japan, too. He's more of a striker. He has that stiff New Japan style, which I really like. And then, oddly enough, Rich Swann coming from 230 last year to number 10. Impact was good to him.
I guess. The only match I saw of him was him losing to Omega.
Which was a great match.
Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of Impact. Like, I'll watch highlights if, like, something big happened, which I know they're going through a whole, like, I think they're going through a whole ROH invasion basically now.
Which is really cool. Yeah, it's been a cool storyline.
I saw they signed PCO. So,
yeah.
I might be watching Impact a little bit more now.
PCO is a crazy person that's allowed to do things legally in a ring. He's like New Jack.
Who's just been wrestling for 50 years.
Dude, he looks
He started in the I think he started in the late 80s.
He started when he was 7.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He looks like...
And he is just... He's not even barrel-chested. He's like...
He's a barrel.
He's like a fermenter come to life.
He's got a bunch of double IPA in him.
Oh, yeah.
But he does like front flips and shit off the apron.
He does like neck-breaking moonsaults and stuff. It's crazy.
It was like when I watched Brock Lesnar do a moonsault for the first time. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So, Adam... this list comes out and it really starts to highlight some of the problems that are going on with wrestling. Most notably, there's this whole talk of toxic fan bases across all wrestling, not just AEW, but WWE, MLW, the Indies, GCW. GCW got a bad rap for letting Matt Cardona win a title for a while, and they kind of got heat for that, especially how they reacted to throwing all the objects into the ring at him.
Oh, I could see that being negative. Yeah. Letting him win was fine. It was a great story driver. It's the only show I ever...
Yeah.
Like, him defending it the first time was the first time I watched GCW live.
Yeah.
So that's what that did. Like, it brought eyes to that company. And now I check in on it all the time.
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, GCW.
It's huge, and there's some great characters there. Like
Nick frickin' Gage.
I like Is it Effie?
Yeah.
The guy. Oh man, I love that character. That's a cool fucking character.
I do.
Super
really
cutting edge.
Yeah.
Very pride centric.
Yeah.
Awesome.
His style is so left field too.
Yeah.
Like he kind of reminds me of it's gonna sound weird. The Japanese buzzsaw man kind of reminds me of Tajiri a little bit because it's
his
kinda,
style. Yeah.
very very loose. You don't know what's gonna happen next. Some staple moves, but it's kind of all over the place. But as you can see, Adam and I aren't really toxic fans. We like good wrestling and we like to have fun with bad wrestling.
But I mean, and I like to make fun of all wrestling that's bad. Like, but you can see the toxicity in the top 10 here. Fan vote, no females.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Despite the fact that Britt Baker winning awards, Thunder Rosa being a part of the match that got her an award, and then you saw all of the work from Becky Lynch this year. Charlotte Flair. I'm not a big fan of Charlotte Flair. I think she's a great wrestler.
Bianca Belair.
Sasha
Banks had a great year.
Look at all these female wrestlers that should be at least in that top 10.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah. And it just doesn't do any favors for the mom's basement dwellers that wrestling fans seem to always get that stereotype. And, well, it's not helping.
Yeah. And it's,
I want to see Drew McIntyre swing his sword.
So, and then they go to tapings, they find $20 on the floor and somehow use that to get a ticket to go to some of these shows because wrestling live events are still kind of hurting. They're still trying to get fans.
Ooh, yeah. Did you see the AEW crowd this week? Ooh.
It's tough.
Wow.
It's tough.
It was rough. The whole second level was cleared out.
Yeah. And it's just because people are scared of COVID, number one.
Wish I lived in Raleigh. I would have been there.
Oh, I would have been there for sure. I would have bought front row. That would have been great.
Yeah.
But the problem here is that anyone can get in at this point. And you're seeing homophobic and racist statements.
Yeah, in the live crowd. Yeah, for sure.
In the live crowd. Yeah, especially like most notably, you saw people shouting at Anthony Bowens, calling him a gay slur. And then there were transphobic statements towards Nyla Rose. It's messed up.
Especially when you're working, like you're getting everybody in there. And you're in those more rural, less frequented cities like Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah, it's very ignorant. It's a shame. Thought we were.
Yeah, I thought we were past that shit. Yeah. We cracked a joke way back on one of our episodes. We dove back into a pay-per-view back in 1992, and we said some of these things don't fly anymore in wrestling, and unfortunately, we're seeing the things that we poked fun at appearing now.
When you get that, you get the name calling towards the talent, and then if you go online, it's super toxic between I like WWE, I like AEW, and they're just like calling each other names and shit too. It's fucking crazy.
Go no further than all the people that were like, I hope John Moxley never comes back to rehab.
Yeah,
like that kind
freaking crazy.
Wow. I never thought that was going to happen. But just know here in the Jojitorium, we love wrestling. And if you want to talk about wrestling, we love to talk about wrestling. And we do it in a way that, you know, we
love good wrestling.
Yeah,
we love to make fun of bad wrestling. Including that finish from Dynamite this week.
Jeez.
Sammy Guevara, what the hell?
Buddy.
The leg slap ain't that important.
Oh, we love you, Sammy.
That thigh slap. Ooh, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bad camera angle, too. It was a really bad camera angle.
They're still learning. They're learning their third year.
Oh, my God.
So, Adam, going on from toxic wrestling fans, and I hope, too, the toxic wrestling gets solved whenever we go into full swing, when everyone's coming back into the arenas, because I believe that larger crowds push those people away, because
there's a small piece of me that wants to check the AEW tickets for Cleveland. That's not a far trip from here.
It's not a far trip.
Depends what the card looks like.
Yeah. But I think once a bigger crowd comes back, they tend to push out some of the garbage. And that's what you are if you're using homophobic, racist slurs.
Yeah, I mean,
people, you're a piece of shit.
At least when you have to pay for tickets, the people that are only going to spend $20 are so far away you can't hear that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they were right up against the ring because you got to do that for television.
Right.
You got to get everybody up, at least up front.
Yeah. Who wants a free upgrade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, get ready for this shit at WrestleMania this year. I see they're doing buy one, get one free on the 2-night deal, and oh my gosh, it's going to be
the most stupendous
disaster. Were they at this year too? Dallas, I think?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, God.
I would go, but not that far. I'm not paying the travel.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather attend. If I had to go to any WWE pay-per-view, I know we're getting way off topic, but it'd be Rumble. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. 100%,
I don't care about anything else.
I'd go Survivor Series, I think.
Only if they did it old school.
Yeah.
I want those teams
I
going
did
against
too.
each other.
So there was a bit of MMA news that came through that really shocked me. It broke through MMAfighting.com, reported a story that Conor McGregor owns a pub. It's called the Black Forge Inn, and it was attacked by petrol bombs, which is another phrase for Molotov cocktails.
Cocktail,
Yeah, so two guys on scooters rode up, each throwing a Molotov at the front window while a tasting was going on inside the restaurant. And then when police arrived on scene, no arrests have been made, but they found 2 more Molotov cocktails in an alleyway as if there was another wave of attack.
People were supposed to come through.
Yeah.
I guess the IRA is still strong, huh?
It looks like
That's what it looks like.
So a statement from the Black Forge management came through and said, after hours last night, it appears that criminals made an unprovoked effort to inflict damage to the Black Forge Inn. No one was hurt, and no property was damaged beyond irreparability, if that's even a word.
What a great name for a business.
I know, Black Forge. It's almost like it's only given to businesses that are really, really cool.
Your boy treated yourself. I got Black Forge coffee here in McKees Rocks 2 days in a row last weekend. Man, it was so good. I had their Americano on Sunday. It was pretty good.
Their Americano is probably
Super smooth.
it's the best thing I have coffee wise in Pittsburgh. You know.
Oh, see, I like their cold brew, but it was like 15 degrees on Sunday, so I had to get something hot.
Had to warm up the old bones.
Yeah. I think I'm getting that tomorrow, too.
So before we move on from that, just so you know, Adam, there is an open investigation on this, and it could be the IRA. We're going to follow that story as it develops.
It probably, I mean, that's just a joke for me, but that's old IRA. I mean, they were more of a car bomb folk, but they like all of their incendiary devices.
And there's also a rumor they do not like Conor McGregor.
Well, it's very possible.
So Adam, if I talk to you about the UFC and fighter pay, do you feel like they're being paid fairly?
They've never have been, I don't think.
Well,
they never were, and then they got their. I mean, it's no secret how bad that Reebok deal screwed them.
Yep.
And I don't think it got any better when they switched to this Venom deal. I have no idea.
it didn't get any better.
Because I didn't follow it. But I would say no, they probably don't get paid enough.
And you'd be right, because FightSports.tv reported on some statements made by MMA journalist Ariel Helwani as fighter pay becomes a continued hot topic. So Helwani explained that sources close to him are talking about major marquee fighters that are going to leave the promotion once their contracts come up, because free agency is looking pretty good. And also, too, you're not going to like this, but you can thank Jake Paul for this.
I mean, he's the one that exposed it.
Blowing it up,
It's
man.
true.
Yeah, so Israel Adesanya, Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor,
Adesanya, man.
Adesanya.
He's a fucking former champ. Actually, I think he still holds one belt. He's still holding his belt.
And Francis Ngannou, who's going to be in Jackass Forever, if you haven't seen.
Is Francis Ngannou in that?
He
current heavyweight champion, by the way.
Current heavyweight champion. Yeah, so.
Defending it this Saturday. Well, the day before you guys are listening to this. So I think he's going to retain that. We went over that last week.
I think he will, too.
But all their contracts come up. That's like everybody I care about except Usman right there.
That's a huge one right there. Yeah, and all these guys, too, will make bank going elsewhere. But I think if you really look at this, though, too, you know, this poses the question to Dana White, like, what are you going to do to fix it? And he just he keeps playing it off. And he comes to people with the old gamer thing of get good, noob. That's all it is. Fighters that aren't on the main card or are undercarded or whatever, they only make roughly $12,000 per fight.
The retort back to Dana is, why are you signing people that you don't think are good?
Yeah.
You're just screwing them in these contracts where they're not getting paid anything. I mean, you have like so many events, plus the Find a Fighter show, you know, all this, the Contender show, like all this stuff where you're signing them all up. I don't know if you're scared of Bellator getting them. I don't know what it is, but I mean.
Well, his tactic, too, is when guys get close to free agency, he locks them up for long-term contracts and then talks shit on them after 2 years. If you look at Anderson Silva, locked him up to a long-term contract and put him in fights where he was getting his head knocked off because he's 50.
Right.
Put him in there with, like, spry 25-year-olds.
Because he still had fights on his contract. Yeah.
So all you want to do is lock people up.
I mean, which is good. I mean, it's good to build the next stars, but then, like, I mean, you got Adesanya out of that, but I think that's it as far as the people that just whooped on.
Yeah, your older guys.
Old Anderson, like.
Yeah. And also, too, you look at, like, guys who are past their prime, Cowboy Cerrone. Like, he was He was done, man.
Yeah.
And you fed him to Conor McGregor.
He's probably he's probably been making good money for a while now.
I don't know.
I'm not sure though.
Because right now, if you look at Francis Ngannou, he is disclosed he's only making $500,000 per fight, and he has
your heavyweight champion,
and he has to pay his own camp, and now he has to pay for his own COVID testing. You're talking about maybe walking away with $200K.
I think your problem is I think the only way for UFC to solve it without digging into their profits, which I know they have a lot of,
yes,
is you got to cut some of that roster. Like you got to cut some of those undercard guys that just don't make.
They parted ways with 4 guys pretty quietly.
I heard there's going to be I heard there's rumored to be a bunch of cuts coming.
Dana White and Vince McMahon got together, and they're just
you just got to trim the fat and trim the events. Just like do the big cards again. You don't need I don't need a UFC fight night every week or every other week. Just go to the pay-per-views and do a UFC fight night like every other month or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I could agree with that. And also too, like you were saying, Dana White has posted it's the best 9-month fiscal gain of the company's history.
I can't believe that.
It's the third price hike
for shit.
Yeah. Well, you're among a small demographic because now ESPN has hiked up the prices for pay-per-views again to $74.99.
Is that on top of their subscription?
On top of the subscription.
Which is like $10-12 something like that.
A month.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like since they went to ESPN Plus, I think we've paid for 4 at most 4, probably only like 3 pay-per-views, and they're the big one. Like McGregor's fighting, there's a stacked card. I'll pay for them. There's only a handful because it's so expensive.
Yeah,
man. And I just get the free activation of ESPN Plus on that, and then
boom,
buy it, and then let it expire, and then
that's it.
I'll get another offer in 6 months. Like I only buy one every like 6 months. That's every year.
When I had Hulu for a second, and they gave you ESPN Plus at like $2 a month or whatever, and then I got rid of Hulu, and they were like, "Oh, we want like $40 for ESPN." I was like, "I'm not doing this. No. I already pay enough money for all." And also too, I was a regular UFC guy. Like I bought the off cards, the ones that weren't hitting hot, but they were $50.
Oh yeah,
I had $50.
Well, and that's also when it was one fight a month. They did those UFC fight nights every once in a while on free cable, but that's how you got stars because it wasn't like this oversaturated where you got to keep track of all these fucking names, all these fucking weight classes that are fighting every week. You had to keep up with it every week. It was special when it was once a month. Go to the bar with your friends and drink and watch it. I hardly ever missed one.
Yeah.
Even if it was like Christmas weekend, I'd like get down in the game room, invite some guys over, and would watch it at my parents' house, and I'd just write them a check.
Yeah, man. I was always down that way.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But now it just doesn't like.
It's not special anymore.
There's very few fights that like peak the radar for me.
So, Adam, that's a pretty bad day at work for some of these fighters who are going to get released from their contracts, or they're going to seek big paychecks somewhere else and maybe have a good work day. But if you have a bad work day, our friends over at Fuck My Work Life podcast can actually help you out with that. So we continue on with some commercials, and our friends over at Fuck My Work Life podcast, they bring you a weekly show where host J&K highlight some of the most ridiculous work life experiences to help you fool yourself into thinking your work life isn't so bad. So we're going to throw it to them.
I feel like I can relate. I feel like I could totally relate with that.
I can't wait till they ask us to come on because we're going to shut it down.
Oh my God.
We're going to shut it down.
I've had a magical month this month.
So we're going to throw it to them, J&K, and we're going to throw it to some of our sponsors. And if you like what you hear, you can check out our sponsors. When you support them, you support us. And when you support us, bring us pretty cool stuff. So we'll see you on the other side.
Have you ever had a bad day at work?
Well, the Fuck My Work Life podcast is perfect for you.
Host J&K share listeners' entertaining stories from the workplace, which may have you thinking you don't have it so bad after all.
Find Fuck My Work Life on your favorite podcast platform.
Nice ink, Adam.
Yeah, I got your name on my ass.
I was talking about your forearm, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been taking care of it.
Yeah, it looks great, man. What are you using?
I'm using Lucky 13's tattoo cleanser and healing ointment. This ointment is incredibly fresh and invigorating. It effectively removes all surface oils and dirt while not dehydrating your new tattoo.
Dude, I actually got some of Lucky 13's tattoo balm. It's all natural, not oily, and applies easily. The balm improved my color and definition, and the vibrance on this ink makes it look like it's brand new.
Oh yeah, man. I found their products after taking their online quiz, and it pointed me in the right direction.
Hey, guess what?
And right now, if you use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order from their site.
From the first line of your tattoo to the first year of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13 has you covered to keep that ink looking fresh.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something that you like. Because again, when you listen to our sponsors and the commercials and you support them, you support us. And when you support us, we bring you some pretty cool stuff. So speaking of cool stuff, Adam, I threw it out for a social media smackdown and I asked all of our listeners, how do you take your water? People were like, why are you asking me this? It'll all make sense here in a second. So I asked you, flat and sparkling. So 31% of our listeners drink flat water and 69% of them drink sparkling water. We are a sparkling water podcast.
I mean, I drink both, but sparkling water is far superior.
It is. It's all about preference. And my preference is to not drink water like poor people. And I want my... I
grew up on well water. I don't got to drink that shit no more.
Yeah, I drank water from a hose for all these years. And now I have some money and I want to drink fancy water. They make machines now where you can just like do it yourself.
I have one.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
I got to get one, man. Oh, one of my coworkers makes his own Red Bull. Like he makes his own. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, they make.
Really
It's basically a Soda Stream.
Yeah,
but they just have like seltzer, flavorings. Like you can just throw a little lime in there. Or
so good, so good. So Adam, before we go into why this makes a lot of sense, it is round 2. You brought another incredible beer for us to try, and I'm very excited about this one. So it's round 2. You got beers, put them together. It's called round 2 beers. What we got?
We got some barrel-aged triple shakes and
triple shakes
from Hitchhiker. I think Matt's favorite beer of the year when we did our year-end show. And it's their Imperial Coffee Porter, made just like they always make it, but this one's aged in some Four Roses bourbon barrels. And then it's conditioned on the Triple Shakes coffee blend that they serve just on its own. So you can just go buy some coffee beans down at Hitchhiker now. I mean, you have been for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But, so let's not delay any further.
Yes.
Do you want to crack? You can crack it open because it's your old favorite beer. And this is also what I got Matt as a gift, but I'm opening one of my own right now.
Oh, it sounds good. So if you want to know what's going on with Hitchhiker, all you have to do is search them out on all social media. This is a limited edition beer, which means that we have it, you don't. Ha ha ha. Na boo boo. Stick your head and do it.
I mean, they might have it.
No, we got them all. So,
catch them on their web address is hitchhiker.beer as well.
Yes, and on all social media, it's Hitchhiker Brewing Company. They are very active. Their brewery spots are so cool, and the staff has always been really nice. And some of them have gone over to like Necromancer and stuff like that. So that tells you how good that brewery is. They get people to come in and they go on to help facilitate other great breweries like Necromancer, like Trace. I'm excited to try this. So Adam, you try it first while I talk a little more about how much I love this beer.
Right before you do, I didn't forget to mention this is a 12% ABV, by the way.
That's goddamn right.
So we're going to be spinning out here. I'm not going to feel nothing by the end of this.
So while Adam takes his first sip, I just have to say that this is probably one of my comfort drinks right now. Triple shakes, huge coffee roastiness, really hits you hard. So I'm excited to see what Adam thinks of the first sip with the Four Rose barrel. So what's going on?
Four Roses is one of my go-to bourbons too. So this is wonderful. You get the bourbon, you get the barrel. It's not overly roasty in any way. The coffee's not predominant. The barrel's not predominant. The bourbon's not predominant. It's just really solid. Actually, what I get most out of it's chocolate, like a chocolate flavor.
Yeah.
Very smooth, dangerously smooth. I'm going to be so lit after this, you can Rochambeau me in the corner. We're just going to start kicking.
I can't do that.
No, you can't. Not today. I'll explode.
Yeah.
I'd literally explode.
What was that the horror movie where the guy's nuts popped like that?
I don't know, but it's making me uncomfortable what you're talking about.
Grindhouse, where his nuts like melted.
Oh,
Tarantino's movie, Planet Terror.
Yeah, Planet Terror.
Yeah,
Planet
it was just
Terror.
like slowly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not watching that tonight. It's one of my favorite movies too.
So, Adam, while we sip on this delicious brew from Hitchhiker, I have to bring it back to the whole water thing. So, I found a news article where there are some imposters over in the LBC, Long Beach, California. where the LBC Water Department warned of individuals who are walking around with clipboards and laminated IDs, much like Napoleon Dynamite, very professional. They're asking to come into people's homes to upsell some filters due to water issues. And once inside, the individuals will case the house Home Alone style. So unless you have the McAllisters in your house fucking around, there's no stopping these criminals from coming in and robbing you blind.
It's literally Home Alone 1, the wet bandits.
Yeah. They're going to flood your house. And in the LBC, if there are the water issues, like I know that there are, your house is going to get fucked up.
Shit. That sucks.
Yeah.
California sounds like a terrible place to live.
It's getting worse, and I get worried. And that's what, like, a lot of our favorite comedians have moved out of California. Guess what, though? Just quick, I get to go to Sacramento in March.
Nice.
Yeah, I get to go over there.
Oh, that's not, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I got that confused with like Southern California.
Yeah. The Sacramento's cool.
There's California.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some good breweries there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna,
It's no San Diego, but you got to do that last time.
I did San Diego last time, right before the pandemic hit, and now my work has been suckered into thinking I'm good at my job again, and they're sending me over for something else. So
In the middle of COVID.
Or
is it in a couple months?
It's March.
It might be.
March.
And
And
I might be through it by
I've
then.
already had COVID.
Yeah.
I'm 6 to 13 times more.
It should be a bit lighter by then. A lot of
I hope so.
people.
I'm
should be
sick of
through
this.
the
I want to
woods.
just go day drink with you so bad.
I can't wait till you're allowed again.
I know. So, Adam,
I'm really good at it.
I know you are. So, Adam, usually in the second half here, we do a little bit of Mount Rushmoring, a little bit of top 10ing, top 5ing, whatever is on the plate. But since you are fragile, I guess is the best way to put it.
You didn't want to make me use my brain too
Yeah,
much.
because I know that your brain's connected directly to your nuts, and I know your nuts are afflicted right now. So
It's not super inaccurate.
it's all I'm going to do with you now is I'm going to tap into those old creative writing skills, and I'm going to challenge you to fake news, real news. So what I did is I found some articles about frauds that have happened all across the United States, and then I also decided to make up some of my own. So I'm going to challenge you with 5 different scenarios, and I want to see if you can get them right, get them wrong, and then see why you think you're right, and I'll tell you why you're wrong.
This is very interesting because, I mean, we both know I went to school for forensic accounting. So fraud's my thing.
Fraud is your thing. But let me tell you, in my research, I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Some of these things are ridiculous.
I might not know the super ridiculous ones.
And it also got my brain going. Because once I see ridiculousness, I think ridiculousness, and I write ridiculousness. So, number 1 here. Man allegedly chops off a friend's hand to cash in on a $670,000 dismemberment claim. True or false?
I heard of kids doing this. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was for a claim, though.
That's a thing.
It was a bunch of juggalos, and two of them cut off another juggalo's hand.
Whoop, whoop.
Of course, somewhere in the Midwest. I'm going to say that's true.
You would be correct.
All right.
This
Because I
is
was going to
true.
say, if it's true and you could actually get me, maybe not. What was it, 670,000?
670,000. So
Yeah, maybe 2 million I'd let you chop my hand off.
this is getting a little true crimey here. Okay, so we're gonna kind of dive into it.
Was it the juggalos, or was that a separate story?
That's a whole separate
I'm going to
story.
find you that one.
Please
That was
do.
a couple years ago.
Next episode? Bring me that one so we can talk about it.
You got it.
So in May of 2008, a gentleman by the name of Gerald Hardin and a third party who has not been named decided to use a pole saw to cut off the hand of that third party. They then teamed up to submit claims to the homeowner's insurance to the tune of $670,000. The reason why they were able to do this is because they were doing some landscaping work, and they claimed that it was an accident due to the layout of the land of the homeowner, which caused the pole saw to cut off the poor gentleman's hand. So this is actually still a case that's pending. Believe it or not, it's been going through a lot of litigation. But if convicted of this felony, Mr. Hardin could face a fine of up to $250,000 and up to 20 years in prison. Ooh. And the third party does not get his hand back.
No, yeah, that's going to stay gone.
Yeah, there's no getting that back. So jail, yes, sucks for Mr. Hardin, but hopefully he went left hand.
You down a palm and some digits.
That's right. So you got to make sure you go opposite dominant hand so you can still.
Yeah, right hand for me.
Oh, definitely for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're one of those evil left-handers.
Yep, I'm a psycho.
How about this then? Speaking of psychos, A woman rigs a bidet to scorch her husband's genitals to the hot tune of $1.1 million.
It's not nice for me today.
I know. I thought of that after I found
Because I own
it.
a bidet, too. It's not hooked up to the hot water, though.
I have one now, too, and it's not hooked to the hot water.
It's such a pain in the ass to get into the
Game
hot water.
changer.
Yeah, it's
game
great, right?
changer. Yeah.
I'm going to say this one's false.
Correct.
All right.
So
That sounds like your creative writing to me.
it was definitely mine. False. However, the manipulation of bidets to harm others has been reported, but more in the lane of TikTok jokes. So most notably, there are married couples who like to prank each other, and one that I love to watch, she put hot sauce, kind of just like coated.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so
evil.
The husband got a full butthole of hot sauce.
I go as cold as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I eat so much spicy
Yeah.
food.
Oh,
I play a
100%.
fun. Never mind. I don't know if I want to talk about the fun game I play.
I already know the fun game you play.
Okay.
You eat hot to poop hop to see how it goes.
Yeah. And then I say, I call it put out the fire, and I see how long I have to spray the bidet to get the fire out. Yeah. I call it personal fireman. That's what I'm calling the game.
That's what, can you please call it like Fahrenheit 9/11 or something?
Instead of blowback, it's bungback.
So, speaking of blowback, Adam, I have another idea here for you. A frat boy creates a fake hedge fund to the tune of $200,000 Vegas gambling trips.
Repeat that?
A frat boy creates a fake hedge fund to fuel his $200,000 Vegas
I missed the
gambling
fuel.
trips.
I thought the hedge funds were for the gambling
That's
trips.
because I fucked up the
Yeah.
first time.
Well, you know.
I am drinking a 12%.
12% beer.
And beers in between. We do take a break, people. And in that break, we do continue to drink.
That could go either way. I'm going to say that's true.
Correct. This is true. Between 2018 and 2019, a former member of the Phi Kappa Tau House, Mr. Syed Erham Arbab, at the University of Georgia, set up a Ponzi scheme. Arbab influenced 117 investors to the total of $1 million by claiming at least a 22% return
Not in this market.
on the first $15,000 invested into hedge funds that did not exist. Good news on this one, though. This white-collar criminal was sentenced to 5 years in a maximum security prison. He also has $500,000 in restitution and 3 years of supervised release once he exits the detention facility. So he's under the thumb of the government for the next 8 years.
He lost big.
He did lose big. But if you go back and look at it, I read further, he had 3 Vegas trips totaling upwards of $200,000. He was just throwing stacks of money, not buying chips, just throwing bricks of cash on the craps table, just saying that let it fucking ride on red. And he was winning and losing.
You mean roulette table then?
Is that what it is? No, craps though.
Not to ride on red.
Don't you?
Craps is the dice.
You're right.
Yeah,
See,
roulette
there you
is
go.
red and black. Jeez, this beer is hitting you hard.
Well, I
know you're new. I know you're new back to the game.
I also don't gamble.
Yeah.
I also don't
Yeah,
gamble.
ride on red is roulette.
Okay. Yeah.
That's red, black. Then there's the green spot.
Okay.
But
Yeah. I don't.
I got you. I've been to casinos.
It's tough. I only know slot machines.
I do not know. I knew craps, and I haven't played for so long. I
Yeah.
don't remember it anymore.
I could do card games like blackjack,
I'm a big blackjack guy.
poker. Yeah.
I'm
a
a big blackjack guy.
Yeah.
And 3-card poker. I like both.
Clearly, I have no fucking clue what craps are. So,
It's the dice.
well, thank you for clearing it up for me. So Adam, woman attempts to fraud a Cracker Barrel for $500,000.
To go back, craps is either the dice or the game I play on the bidet.
Fahrenheit 9/11.
So a woman,
Attempts to fraud a Cracker Barrel for $500,000.
but how? Oh, well then that's false.
Unfortunately, this is true.
God damn it!
Carla Patterson tried.
I should have expected that you wouldn't be that lazy with your creative writing skills.
Exactly. Carla Patterson tried to defraud a Virginia-based Cracker Barrel after claiming she found a mouse in her soup. Of course, because it's
Yeah, if you finished that, I would have known it's
Yeah.
true.
It's-
That's super uncreative.
an autopsy of the mouse found that there was no soup in the rodent's lungs, and it was clear that the poor animal was not cooked. Patterson was sentenced to 1 year of incarceration as a result of her attempted fraud.
And to the mental hospital for carrying around a dead mouse.
Yeah, you just put it in your fucking pocket the whole time. Stuart Little, too, is
Although,
weird.
I've seen some Cracker Barrel. There's a lot of Cracker Barrel Walmart crossover. I believe it.
Yeah, that's why they're like in close vicinity to each other. When you see a Walmart, you definitely see a Lowe's, and then you see a Cracker Barrel, kind of in that succession. There's a Target somewhere trying to go like, please come to us too, and it doesn't really work out.
Not for those people. No,
doesn't really work out. So, Adam, your last test here, because you've done really well. You're 3 of 4.
I only missed one. Yeah.
So let's see if you get this one. A holy man organized a criminal coalition to the tune of $450 million.
See, on this one, I know you want me to think it's true because you involved religion, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's no more details. That's all I get.
A holy man organized a criminal coalition to the tune of $450 million.
I think you wrote it thinking I would think it's true because it's religion.
Final answer?
Yeah, it's false.
It is true.
Fuck.
Rabbi Shalom.
I'm still over 50%. But
You are.
Damn it.
Rabbi Shalom Weiss masterminded one of the biggest bouts of fraud in history, in white-collar crime history. After aligning himself with several criminally connected individuals, the rabbi was able to claim upwards of $450 million and then an 845-year sentence. Now, there's a lot of controversy that comes with this because they're saying that he didn't agree to a plea deal from prosecutors, and that's why when they went to trial, they hit him with the max sentence, which, if you know anything about federal crime, hitting a max is pretty difficult to do unless it's homicide.
Yes.
So
I do know a little bit, and yes.
yeah, it's a little crazy. So, of course, this is one of the biggest sentences in white-collar crime history. However, fortunately for Rabbi Weiss, or not, however you want to say this, his sentence was commuted by former President Donald Trump in January of 2021.
No.
Yeah, so instead of doing 845 years, I think he did like 20 years. And Donald Trump cited significant health problems as to why he excused Rabbi Weiss.
Well, you can call Mr. Trump a lot, but
Yeah.
not anti-Semitic, I guess. Huh?
No, he's anti-Mexican, anti-black, anti-poor people, anti-immigrants, except for his wife. And
Funniest president we've ever had.
he's
Funniest president we've ever had.
Joe Rogan said it best. We had a stable 8-year relationship with Barack Obama, and then we dated a whore for 4 fucking years. We didn't care about anything. We just ran red lights and fucked.
It was a lot of fun.
You never knew what he was going to do next. You never knew. It was insane. And you and I, being as close as we are to the source, just seeing it coming from down the pipe, we're going like, how? How's this a thing that's going to happen to us?
Nuke that hurricane.
There's probably a return on 2024. I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm not excited to see it. I don't know what's going to happen here. But Adam, you did a great job, man. You went 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I should have got that last one. I thought you were swaying me by going religious. I could see you doing that. And then as soon as you said there were no more details, I should have been like, Matt would have threw something else in
I
there.
would have. But it's crazy, though, too, when you look at that. There are no like televangelists that have.
I mean, I think that's just been, especially in the last year. There's been a couple documentaries out about them. Like, I don't think they're getting away with as much as they used to.
They're not getting. Dude, what about that one guy who's like, I have a private jet because I can't fly and coach with all the demons.
Yeah,
like,
you got to stay away from the demons.
They try to stow their bags in first class. Fuck them.
What's they just came out with a documentary about what, Tammy Faye Baker or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a great documentary.
Yeah, she's nuts
and
nuts.
rich.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'll take that trade off.
Before we move on to anything else, let me ask you this. All right, so Adam, your life is the way it is. What's the price point to engage in coitus with
Tammy Faye Baker?
Tammy Baker.
Now?
Right.
Well, she never looked great.
That's what I say. What's the difference between now and 40 years ago?
I need to be able to retire, never talk to anybody again. Like,
No, fuck that. You got to write a book. You got to go on a TED
that's
Talk
true. I guess
tour?
I could make more money off of it. I'd take 4, 5 million,
5 million?
4 million.
Yeah.
Open the brewery, write a book.
That's pretty
live
good.
comfortably, yeah.
I'd say, yeah. Plus, you know how to.
I could open a failing brewery at that point and just keep it going until I die.
like a bar rescue situation. Shut it down.
I'd be able to own it long enough to realize I don't know what I'm doing, then be able to hire the people that know what they're doing. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'll contact Tammy and see what she's up to.
Probably close to death.
She should be at this point. There's so much plastic in her face. I think she'll last forever.
She is still alive?
I think so.
Do we know that?
I don't know.
I don't know. She might have went the way of Betty at this point. I'm not
Don't
sure.
you say that. Don't. Well, actually, no. I don't care about her. I care about Betty White.
That's who I said, Betty. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I miss Betty. She was so funny.
Oh yeah, oh my god, she's so dead, dude.
Well, how long has she been dead for?
2007.
Oh, will you still fuck her though?
No, I'm out there. I'm completely out.
Although
now it's just bones, it might not be that gross.
Now that she's dead,
I've never had a thing for
how
anorexic
much
chicks though.
money do you need? How much money do you need now that she's dead?
Only like $2 million.
The price goes down.
Yeah, she doesn't have all that ridiculous makeup on. I was gonna say
That makeup's still on.
I figured
that makeup's still on.
I figured she had to be dead because she had the whole mystique of a Winston 100 smoker.
She was also on borrowed time since like 87.
Well, she's in heaven at least.
See ya. I hope Betty White's drop kicking you from the top fucking rope, by the way. And Bob Saget just cheering her on. Tombstone. One more! So, before I ask you about this beer, of course, rest in peace, Bob Saget, Betty White.
Yeah. It's been a rough couple weeks.
Yeah.
Bob Saget hit me hard.
That was tough.
Because it came, I saw it super late at night. Because that's when it was discovered. I think it was like midnight on a Sunday, and I was down here in the Jojitorium drinking.
Of course.
And it hit me hard. I felt
That's a tough
terrible
one, man.
Shocker.
And you know what? I don't know if it sounds weird to say this, but I'm just happy there's no like mystique of like foul play or anything. It just sounds like
It just sounds like hopefully it is just bad genetics.
just went peaceful.
Sounds like a heart attack in his sleep.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
So hopefully it's all it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Him and Betty going out solid.
And I put it up on
65, man. We ain't got a lot of time. I just turned 36.
You think we're making it 65? You're cute.
I know, right? Unless I pickle all my organs with this barrel-aged porter we're drinking.
It's possible, but so to go back to the beer, what'd you think, man?
Oh, mine's gone.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
I
getting
gotta
goofy already.
Polish mine.
But fucking wonderful, dude. Great beer.
Yeah.
Liked it a little bit better than the bone saw we had in the first half. I mean, not really fair because it's a barrel-aged porter, coffee porter at that.
There's a lot of care that goes into that. You know what I mean?
Into both. I mean,
Yeah.
to get all those dum-dums in a beer is
Right.
got to be crazy. But
All I'm thinking about is like, first off, a stout that's packed with flavor to begin with. The triple shakes is an imperial to begin with, and then you're going to put it in a 4-rose barrel. You're going to let it ferment out. You can get just a nice oakiness to it. It's a great beer. It's a really good beer. Thank you for sharing it. Thanks for cracking one of yours.
Absolutely.
I got 2 more at my house. So Adam, we drank these beers, but we need to talk about some other beers. So what's on tap and where can you find it?
it's going to sound real familiar to the last episode because nothing's changed because I got to empty some of this to get some new stuff on. But we have a little bit of the bubbly available. We still have a whole keg of that left. It's our Bellini Brut IPA coming in at 8.4%. We have the Every Time I Chai Tea Stout coming in at 7.5. That's about to kick. So get it now. Stop on through and get a pint I think just get a pint. I don't think I'm bottling any more of that. How the Gruit Stole Christmas. Our Cranberry Hunted Gruit Ale is on at 7.2%. And that's still flowing good. We got a backup keg of that. So plenty left. Come get yours now. And the Gingerbread Stout on at 7.5, which is in a similar running to the Chai Tea. That's not long for the tap room. And our Year of the Joji honey barley wine it's in the bottles. It's being waxed now. So if you want any, hit me up this week.
It's going to go.
It's going to go. There's only a little bit over a case. There's like 30 bottles. And some of them have been claimed already ahead of time. So hit me up. And then coming up next in the fermenter, we can hear it in the background here bubbling away, is Crushed by the Fist of God. It is our smoked honey imperial. Sorry, I missed a word there. Russian imperial stout.
That's right.
So it's a hoppy smoked imperial stout. And it should be coming in between 11.2 and 11.5% this year, based on our calculations. And that should be ready by the beginning of February. So,
And
that'll be available in bottles.
Yeah, and I can only tell you, Crushed is an incredible beer. If you want the quintessential winter beer, this is it. Smokiness, roastiness, bite, warms your chest, easy put down, looks cute, looks pretty, pours nice. I'm a homer, but I love this beer so much. I have a bottle still aging.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I have one left. I'm going to drink it. We're just going to do a vertical of it at some point. We're just going to do last year's and this year's once this one's ready.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, and we have 2 kegs of it, so these are also going to go in waxy bottles.
And they will
as long
go
as
fast.
our waxing process goes well on these barley wines, and they'll go fast. Yeah, and then we'll have a keg on here in the Jojitorium because I'm on a respite. Like we got to face it due to this. I got the Crushed by the Fist of God ready before the surgery. I have to take some time off from lifting stuff. Either Matt or my wife are going to help me keg this bastard in a few
Sounds
weeks.
like me.
And then I think next on the docket's a nice hazy IPA.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Because I have a bunch of hops I want to play with.
Yeah, love you, Darren. So you want to know what's going on down here with Adam in the Brew Lab? It's at @bash_brew on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Untapped.
And a little peek behind the curtain. We are working on a website. It is not up and running yet, but we do have a domain name. We do have a server.
Nice.
Or a host. We have a host. We just have to design the webpage. We'll be working on that over the next couple weeks, and we'll bring you the news as we get there.
Absolutely. And when that launches,
we'll have the tap and bottle menu on the webpage at all times. We're going to be hopefully setting up a store on there for merch. So check it out. Of course, we'll bring the news to you. I would say in the next few months we'll have that up and running.
Wonderful. Hopefully, there's a little corner for Decaying with the boys.
Yeah. There might be a little link,
little corner on the side there. And if you want to know what's going on with the boys, all you have to do is search us out at Decaying WTB on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop listener polls on Tuesdays. And if you want to go ahead and send us emails about how we're doing this right, doing this wrong, suggestions, or you want to come on the show or do anything at all, it's decayingwtb@gmail.com. So from where we are with a brand new vasectomy and a brand new set of clear lungs from COVID, from wherever you are listening to this episode, until next time, cheers.
Ice my balls.